Also swap it, but Syndra being in a long lane topside also could be very disastrous, especially when you consider the Elise. So it becomes very uncomfortable there if they wanted to try to be like, well, we'll also swap. So the Jace mid into Syndra here gives you a lot more power than a lot of mid laners are going to have against Syndra right now. So she loses some extra prio here. Elise becomes an insane threat in all 3 lanes actually here for Dplus Kia with this Jace flex mid.
Yeah.
With the damage that you have with Jace into a Syndra matchup, that Cocoon hits, that is absolutely a dead Syndra. Same, of course, can be true of topside, and we already know what Lucian Nami is capable.
Dplus Kia fans out in force today. As we can see, SHOWMAKER taking a bit of damage early. 4 members chasing after him here. They get the Teemo thumbs up that SHOWMAKER actually likes a lot. Dundun might be in trouble here, as he's just going to wander past Canyon. He'll chase him down. Spiderling's being a bit frustrating as well. But there's just a bit of biffo here in the early game. Nothing.
Like I said, in all 3 lanes, there is power, there is opportunity. Electrocute here for Jace and the Elise. So much damage.
Yeah.
Ooh, it could be nasty, man. It's Canyon we're talking about. Yeah, and I'm fearing for Noxian players right now.
Exactly, and you might be looking at this and you're like, oh, double AD solo lanes, oh, they're not going to have enough magic damage. I don't think that matters when it's Canyon's Elise, because this guy really likes to get farming, even on the Spider Lady, as Peter and Vital down to 50%. Some picked up, Def now teleporting back to lane.
It's hard to use
a pickaxe and double longsword.
It's hard to use that barrier spell here aggressively, as you mentioned, once it comes back up here, even though you know Def doesn't have Ignite. Sylvie does have a control ward here. This is a bit risky.
Yeah, Canyon's already started the dragon, so he is in the area. That zombie ward will spot Sylvie if he decides to move around, but he is going to move away. And this Drake is just slowly but surely being taken down.
Oh, the scan as well. Wrong angle. Man, this is so greedy from Dplus Kia. It is so greedy, but they're just right behind that curtain of vision, right? And they set it up, tracked it, knew what Sylvie didn't know, so Canyon knows he can make this play. He has double scuttle advantage, takes this Drake early while Deft and Kellen are pushing. And there's just there's no stopping this team right now, it feels like.
Well, dominance has been popped here by Canna, as Dundun on the wrong side of this one. Cull the Meek working out quite nicely, but the Blade Surge will allow Dundun to get back to relative safety. So he's absolutely fine. Sylvie going to move on over here. Control ward would have been in position, so I think Canna would have been okay. But now without the ultimate, it's going to be a little bit harder for the Renekton.
So it's still a huge win here for Dplus. They can start up this Herald uncontested. But at the same time, you know, they handled the pressure in both mid and top very well so far. I think a lot of teams, like Live Sandbox, sadly, unfortunately, last week, have just fallen to this Dplus Kia pressure. But Nongshim so far haven't taken any permanent damage.
Really cute. Def just checking the Gromp there, making sure that Canyon's not getting counter juggled. Oh my goodness, he reads it! Def gonna get caught out. Hells have to flash, but there's the flash to follow up the culling to try and get this one. But first blood goes to Zeri. And man, Sylvie, that was so sick.
That was so sick. What an amazing ult there. The read was real. Takes him out. That's finally the first real punish that we've seen from Sylvie here with the attention the topside Canyon has taken. And Fiesta could come over here, steal his blue buff with the Force of Will and say, like, you can't take everything.
Yeah,
you're going to try to cross-map the jungle, you can't have this.
Not this time. Topside, a little bit on fire for Nongshim, but that bottom side victory is going
to try to threaten this Jace, who just casually dodges and bops you away with his hammer, while Dplus Kia get raped. And there's no contest because you're running a Zeri lane. The lack of prio here and the threat of the Elise just really weakens any sort of contest here. For Nongshim is nice, little first strike proc there, going to also deny the back. Def being very annoying, it's going to cost him some serious minions here. Vital, who loses Dragon and has no help whatsoever, and with the Elise so nearby, like, Sylvie's coming down here to try to catch this wave, but he's going to get zoned out here potentially too. Vision removed. Dplus Kia is such a well-oiled machine, and like I said, it's so crazy that they have this level of synergy and coordination this early on in the season.
Yeah, and this is also after being first-blooded as well. This isn't like they've managed to out-hands their opposition necessarily this game, pick up a bunch of kills. This has been purely macro sense being better, as Callan's going to get caught once again. Def doing his best to try and lock down the Sejuani, but he's so tanky. Vital throws through the ultimate. Kellen's very dead, and now SHOWMAKER's making his way down. Def trying to fight back, but he's going low. Shock Blast comes in. SHOWMAKER completely out of mana as Canyon flashes. Peter is going to soak it beautifully, but it might be his death, and it is going to be so. Canyon does make his way out, the minion wave there at exactly the right time, and they trade supports in the bottom lane.
So close to killing that Sejuani there too, and Kana, he's looking for a little bit of action up here top side as well. Dundun, the wave is pushed so far away from him. In order to farm, he has to trade a fourth of his health bar at least here. Kana doesn't even ult or anything like that. He goes down to half, and Kana's wave manipulation here has cost really no idea whether Deft is here or not.
Yeah, it's a really cute do-si-do that they're doing though, moving between mid and this dragon as Kana keeping his eye on Dundun. So much of this posturing really is important, and Nongshim are doing a decent job right now as Dundun sweeps out, notices that there's a crocodile there, and now Deft's going to move in. They're going to look to lock him down as, yep, W not going to be enough. That is Deft grabbing the kill.
Without Deft, without knowing whether Deft is there or not, it's so difficult for Dundun to actually move in, and with that vision control, they know he's there. The second Deft reappears, who, again, doesn't use his teleport, just slowly walks back here after picking up the RFC. They're like, okay, now we have enough damage to kill Aurelia. And the second he shows up, with a snap of their fingers, Dplus Kia collapse, kill him, and take the Drake. It is attempted trade here where there's control ward vision is just not going to work. But this is the level of desperation that Nongshim have right now where they're like, we can't just give this up. The turret is at 3/4 health. We can't cross map or anything. It's going to force a TP, but they're not going to get much else.
Dear. Oh my goodness! He flashed in and the teleport is just completely destroyed.
I stand
Oh
corrected.
no, that is not what you want. He just completed an Infinity Edge. As now Canner is trying to get this one done. Colamite comes through. He would have loved a stopwatch at that point in time, but it's not going to work out. The Drake does go over to Dplus Kia, but that was a big mistake.
Yeah, that was a greedy TP from Deft, and I was going to say they get a TP, but nothing else. I thought we're going to see Nongshim back away. Okay, Fiesta, bye.
He's dead. Showmaker just, yep, that's a boot for the kill.
One of these two tier stacking mid laners is more powerful than the other right now. Yeah, started at the same place in the game. You know, we're 10 CS lead up for Fiesta, but this Varus lethality variation is going to...
How quickly they are able to move around as Canna. Trying to avoid that, but the Dark Sphere will at least connect. Just a bit of a battle over this blue buff, and it looks like Nongshim will be able to secure it. And now Dplus Kia are just going to move towards the Baron.
Yeah, there's no vision here whatsoever. Dplus Kia know it.
Nongshim?
A little bit late on the reaction, but they're side laning super hard with Dundun. He has TP.
Is it just dead? That was a tidal wave, just for fun, as they didn't have full vision. At least the Glacial Prison is going to come through, but now the turn might be upon them. Canna just moving his way around and decides just wants to get out. And Dplus Kia, they'll just complete the heist. And now, with the Baron perfectly moving towards Elder timing, Dplus can do pretty much
they can do no
whatever
wrong.
They want.
Yeah, and the tragedy of this is the late commitment means Dundun commits teleport and doesn't get that gold top side, or rather bottom side. Okay.
That Scat of the Week was very nice, but I just don't know whether it's going to matter. Okay,
the
never mind! Fiesta just flashes on top of him and presses the gameplay button!
The madman! Fiesta! He handled that super well.
Also had a stopwatch, I guess.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he was never really going to die.
Yeah. Just a little bit of greed there from Deft, and we can't side of Dplus. Going to put the Renekton to match Dundun here on side. They need a longer fight, and somehow they have to deal with Kana and then deal with him a second time because he has had this GA for a long time now.
Voltar Spiderling just to spot out Fiesta here as Sylvie finds the Glacial Prison off to the side. Showmaker's going to go golden as now Canna just flashes in. They jump on top of Vital, who explodes with the ultimate, but explodes into the Death Chamber as well. Deft now running away from Dundun, but he's so incredibly fast. And he'll blast cone. He's out of there. He's absolutely fine. And the war machine that is Dplus Kia will mow down Nongshim. Triple kill for Canyon. That's the ace. And they might just run down mid lane.
Looks like they certainly will. So a inner turret standing in their way, but it is going to fade very quickly as Deft is setting up the side down here. Kind of a backup plan, potentially. But guess what? He's got TP, actually. The call is come mid, actually. We're going to win the game now. There's no, like, okay, what if we can't end? At least we have bottom pushing. Nope, just going to TP in. And the call is to end no matter what. Kana's like, I still have my GA. It didn't pop. There is no way we lose this game. It's 31 minutes. GG.
Yeah, that's it. And Dplus Kia, it wasn't as clean as some of their other games, but that was just gorgeous setup and really nicely played. Shoutouts to Sylvie. I think that he was still a player to watch out for here in the LCK, but just not quite enough. And the level of coordination, not quite there.
And some real redemption for Fiesta.